Don't ask for someone to give if you've not given.
It is this motto that Rita has lived by her entire life.
I know some of my neighbors are having some difficult times or trying times. Just sitting there and talking to them, or sitting in the front yard talking, it helps them a lot, So I think it's just a matter of that. Everybody needs someone to talk to, and or just share some time. And I find that, if I can be that liaison for them, I feel I've done a great job. I've done my part.
Raised along with her 7 siblings in French camp by hardworking parents, Rita learned early the importance of taking responsibility. Caring for family members came naturally to her, so it was no surprise when she became a medical assistant. Many in this community have benefited from Rita's caring touch through her work as Community Affairs Coordinator for the California Transplant Donor Network and her work at care facilities for the elderly or injured.
She's the definition of graciousness. She just leads by example, and her priorities are just so there of what needs to be done to make the world a better place.
That graciousness has been experienced by many disadvantaged youth whom Rita has worked with in her efforts to help them obtain a better future. She shares with them her philosophy.
You don't have to wait for something to happen. You have to make it happen. You have to take responsibility for your own life, not someone else. And no one owes you anything, You make your own path.
As Rita has taken on many roles within the community, she's continued her education so she can best serve others. Most recently, she earned her master's degree in psychology and counseling. Volunteering is also serious business to Rita, giving her time to several service clubs, healthcare organizations, and nonprofits.
We're all here for a mission. We're all on a mission. And sometimes we don't have to get paid for it, and that's fine.
But with all she's involved in, Rita always puts family first. Because, as she says, at the end of the day, it is family that will really appreciate what you do and who you've become.
When you hang out with Rita, you're a better person too.
Hundreds of Lincoln High School students already know that Manuel Moreno has made a huge impact on this community. Teaching science classes for nearly 25 years, Manuel has had the opportunity to not only share his love of the subject, but to encourage his students to excel in all aspects of their lives.
He's a very strong person and knows what it takes to be successful, and he wants others to be successful.
Manuel continually looks for ways to motivate and inspire his students, often utilizing the latest technology. His efforts have earned him numerous awards, including San Joaquin County Teacher of the Year, California Schoolmaster Award, and Phi Delta Kappa Distinguished Teacher of the Year.
I chose biology because it's the study of life, and I couldn't imagine anything more important than that. And then secondarily, I chose teaching because it's the education of others so that they have opportunities to do well, and I wanted to be a part of that.
He connects with the kids. He's very advanced technologically, which I didn't buy a cell phone until like 2 years ago because I refuse. I don't have a computer. I don't want to get onto this stuff.
Realizing the importance of a parent's role in a child's success, Manuel established the Lincoln Latin Leadership Organization to create a bridge between parents, teachers, and administrators, and provide support and encouragement for students interested in a college education. Manuel has also been an excellent role model for his students, not just in the classroom, but within the community as well. He's an advisor, a mentor, and volunteers with numerous organizations.
If I don't live my life with a very high standard and a high expectation of myself, how can I ask somebody else to do that, So I think the students that I work with many times, I need to be the best person that I possibly can. I need to be the best parent that I possibly can be for my son. And so I feel that my role as a teacher is very important, that I have to rise to these high expectations in order for me to ask them to do the same.
The White House even tapped into Manuel's abilities by using him in a video for their anti-drug school program. But most of all, Manuel's talents have helped shape the lives of so many young people in this community by making learning fun and encouraging them to do the very best they can. It's the same lesson he gives his own son.
Try to set a goal and try to accomplish it, and try to have and always be positive to yourself at anything.
Jose and Leopoldo Sosa were just young boys who enjoyed music when their father made them instruments. Growing up in Jalisco, Mexico, near Lake Chapala, they, along with their brother Miguel, would venture to the tourist side of the lake to play for visitors.
In the beginning, he didn't think that music would be a way of living, of life, making his living, but they used to work in the fields when they were young, and they would get paid 50 centavos, which is like half a penny a day for working out in the fields all day. But when they would sing a song, they would get 5 centavos for a song, so he figured out real fast that it was a lot easier with music and they could make money faster that way.
It also turned out to be a blessing. The boys were just teenagers when their parents both died within a week of each other. They were left to fend for themselves.
Before their deaths, they played for enjoyment and to pass the time, but after they died, they realized they didn't even have enough for tortillas, so they better go out there and figure out what to do.
And that's when they began relying on the music. They formed Mariachi Chapala and toured all over Mexico, earning a living and perfecting their talent. Eventually, they were hired to work in a restaurant in the booming border town of Mexicali, California. They moved on to Club Granada and the $1 Million Theater in Los Angeles. Before long, they became known as the premier mariachi band. They played for politicians at rallies and alongside many famous musicians. Their music was even used in an Elvis movie.
Fun in Acapulco, they're the background music in the movie, and then they had their charro outfits, but they had to lend them to the actors who played the music. He goes, we were better looking than them. I don't know why they didn't let us come out on the movie. But
their status earned them an invitation to perform at the 1962 World's Fair in Seattle, Washington. Leopoldo decided Stockton was the next great place for mariachi, and in 1963 they started the Mariachi Jilgueros. Through the years, they played in many local parades, weddings, fundraisers, and countless celebrations.
He was 100% devoted to his work, to his family, to his community. He brought Mexico to the United States. He was one of the first mariachis to come to the United States, okay? That in itself is to me, is amazing.
Leopoldo passed away in 2003, but he left a legacy of not only great music, but in his 10 children.
You could probably talk about all the accomplishments he did, working with movie stars, playing for famous people, politicians. He did it all, but he never talked about that. All he talked about is his kids. That's what he was most proud of.
Jose just recently retired at the age of 88. He's 91 now and says he still has dreams where he's playing the violin.
Well, I appreciate that he worked very hard for us, and he always said, I don't want you to work, I want you to study. Go to school, study, because that's going to pay off in the end.
My dad was a quiet man. He would be the last one to say, look at me, look what all I've done. He was very humble, but very proud of what he did. And again, his biggest message would be, don't let the music die. Keep it going, keep it going.